Hey everyone, welcome. Let's talk about artificial intelligence. You hear that term everywhere, right? But what does it really mean? Well, today, we're going to cut through all the jargon and make it super simple. We're breaking down everything from the absolute basics to the mind-blowing stuff you're probably using every single day. All right, let's get into it. And let's just start with this. This isn't some sci-fi, far-off future idea. AI is already here. It's a huge part of your daily life, and a lot of the time, you might not even realize it. Just think about your day so far. Did you unlock your phone with your face? That's AI. Wonder how Netflix just knows what you want to watch next? Yep, and that's AI too. Google Maps telling you how to avoid that traffic jam? Siri or Alexa understanding what you said? Even stuff like GitHub Copilot helping developers write code. It's all powered by AI. Okay, so to really get a handle on this, we need to zoom out and start with the big picture. What is this giant umbrella term that covers all this incredible technology? At its very core, artificial intelligence, or AI, is just the super broad field of trying to make computers smart. We're talking about giving them the ability to do things that we used to think only humans could do. Recognizing faces in a crowd, understanding spoken language, or figuring out what's in a picture. But here's the thing. When you hear people talking about AI today, they're not usually talking about that big, broad idea. They're actually talking about a much more specific and way more powerful engine that's driving pretty much all the cool stuff we see. And that engine is machine learning. Honestly, this is the part of AI that we're interacting with all the time. This is where things get really interesting, because it's where we stop just giving computers instructions and we start actually teaching them how to learn on their own. And this right here, this is a fundamental flip in how we think about programming. In the old days, we had to write all the rules. We'd tell the computer, here's the input and here's the logic. If this happens, then you do that. But with machine learning, we totally reverse it. We say, here's the input and here's the correct output. Now you figure out the rules for yourself. So, when you boil it all down, machine learning is really about pattern recognition, just on a massive, massive scale. It's all about sifting through mountains of data, finding those hidden connections and patterns, and then using that knowledge to make smart decisions or predictions about brand new stuff it's never seen before. Let's make this real. Imagine a bank. For step 1, training, they feed their machine learning system thousands and thousands of old loan applications. They show it all the people who were approved and all the people who were rejected. The system just churns through that data and learns the patterns. Then comes step 2, inference. A brand new application comes in, and the system uses all those patterns it learned to predict whether this new person is a good or bad risk. It's really just a two-step dance. First you learn, then you predict. Now, machine learning isn't just one thing. There are a few different flavors. First, you've got supervised learning. Think of this like studying with flashcards. You have the question, and you have the correct answer right on the back. Then there's unsupervised learning. This is more like being dropped in a huge library and told to just group similar books together, but you don't know the genres ahead of time. And finally, there's reinforcement learning, which is kind of like training a puppy. It learns by getting rewarded for good actions and, well, not rewarded for bad ones. Okay, so if machine learning is the engine, what's the brain? To get there, we have to go another level deeper, into an even more specialized field called deep learning. And deep learning is exactly what it sounds like. It takes its inspiration directly from us, from our brains. It uses these really complex structures called neural networks, which are designed to mimic the web of neurons we all have in our heads. And that structure lets it find much more complicated patterns. See, your more traditional machine learning is absolutely fantastic when your data's all nice and neat. Think of a perfect spreadsheet with clean rows and columns. It's structured. But let's be honest, the real world is not a spreadsheet, right? It's messy, it's chaotic, and that is where deep learning comes in. Its absolute superpower is making sense of all the messy, unstructured data that makes up, well, most of everything. So what are we talking about here? Unstructured data is, well, it's pictures, video clips, audio from a podcast, your text messages, the words in a book. This is the stuff that deep learning thrives on, and being able to process all of that? It's a total game changer. It's how a self-driving car can see a stop sign, or how an AI can help a doctor find a tiny tumor in a medical scan. Which brings us right to the cutting edge, the stuff that has absolutely exploded into our lives over the last couple of years. This is the point where AI stops just analyzing things and starts creating things. Welcome to the age of generative AI. So what makes it so different? Well, generative AI, or Gen AI for short, is a specific kind of deep learning that just flips the whole script. Instead of just identifying what's in a picture,
it can create a brand new picture from scratch. Instead of just understanding text, it can write a whole new story. It generates things that have never existed before.
And I am positive you've seen these names. ChatGPT writing an essay, Midjourney or DALL-E creating some unbelievable piece of art, Sora making a video just from a sentence. These are all real-world examples of generative AI out there doing its thing. They're the creators.
Okay, wow, we have covered a lot of ground. AI, machine learning, deep learning, generative AI. So how in the world does this all fit together? Let's look at the AI family tree.
You know, the absolute best way to think about this is like one of those Russian nesting dolls. Artificial intelligence is the biggest doll. It's the whole field. You open it up, and inside you find machine learning. Open that one, and you find the more specialized deep learning. And then right at the very core, you'll find generative AI. Each one is a subset of the one before it.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that AI isn't some single monolithic thing. It's really an evolving family of technologies. Each layer is built right on top of the last one, getting more powerful and more specialized and unlocking things we once thought were impossible. We went from simply smart to learning to understanding and now to creating.
So we've built these incredible systems that can learn from our past, that can predict our future, and that can create things we've never seen. That really just leaves us with one pretty huge question to think about. Now that it can do all of that, what should we ask it to do next?